Hello, welcome back to my channel Christian Faith and Fiction. My name's Lou, and today I want to share with you some of the Christian fiction books I could find that are coming out in March. Thank you so much to everyone who has subscribed to my channel, commented or liked my videos. I really do appreciate that. These are the books that I could find that are coming out, but if you know of any more, please do add them down in the comments below, and also let me know at the end which one's your favourite or which you think you won't end up reading. I've split them into genres and I'm going to give you a bit of the description, but if you want to read the full description you can do so by clicking the link in the box below this video, and it'll take you to my blog. So just to let you know, I've recorded this in parts. In historical fiction, The Spark of Love by Amanda Cabot is book 3 in the, now somebody told me how to pronounce it, I think it was Liz and someone else told me how to pronounce this last year, Mesquite Springs series. I hope I've got that right this time. It releases on the 1st of March. The description reads, when a spurned suitor threatens her, Heiress Alexandra Tarkington flees New York for Mesquite Springs in the Texas Hill Country, where her father is building a hotel, but the happy reunion she envisions is not to be, as her father insists she returns to New York. Instead, Alexandra carves out a niche for herself in town, teaching school children to paint and enjoying the company of Gabe Seymour, a delightful man she met on the stagecoach. But not all is as it seems. 2 men, each with his own agenda, have followed her to Mesquite Springs, and Gabe is an investigator searching for proof that her father is a swindler. Enchanting the Heiress by Kristi Ann Hunter releases on the 1st of March. Harriet Hancock likes to make the lives of those around her better whether they like it or not, so she is surprised when her friend Sophia Whitworth has ideas of her own on how to make Harriet happier, by throwing her together with Sophia's brother, stable hand Jonas Fitzroy. When Harriet discovers his natural way with words, she hatches a plan that would benefit them both. Holding a grudge against Harriet for her meddling in Sophia's life, it is only because of his sister that Jonas agrees to approach Harriet with a possible artistic project. What he doesn't expect is for her to request his help writing a book. The Elements of Love by Mary Connealy releases on the 1st of March. With their sharp engineering minds, Laura Stiles and her 2 sisters have been able to deal with their mother's unfortunate choice in husband until they discover his plans to marry each of them off to his lecherous friends. Now they must run away far and fast to find better matches to legally claim their portion of their father's lumber dynasty and seize control from their stepfather. The Letter from Briarton Park by Sarah E. Ladd releases on the 1st of March. In Regency England, one letter will alter a young woman's fate when it summons her to Briarton Park, an ancient place that holds the secrets of her past and the keys to her future. Cassandra Hale grew up knowing little about her parentage, and she had made peace with the fact that she never would. But Cassandra's world shifts when a shocking deathbed confession reveals a 2-year-old letter from Mr. Clark, the master of Briarton Park, which hints to her family's identity. Stung by betrayal, she travels to the village of Anston, only to learn Mr. Clark has since passed away. James Warrington is a widower and the new master of Briarton Park, where he lives with his 2 young daughters, his sister and his mother-in-law. When Cassandra appears at his doorstep with a letter from the previous owner and then proceeds to assist his family in an unexpected way, he is honour bound to help uncover the answer she seeks. Along the Rio Grande, do you pronounce the E? Grande or Grande? By Tracie Peterson releases on the 1st of March. Recently widowed Susanna Jenkins has decided to follow her family to the booming town of San Marshall, New Mexico, for a fresh start and to aid in her family's sudden change in fortune. They are tasked with managing her uncle's new grand hotel, and it takes all her patience to try to help her parents see the good of their circumstances and relinquish their sense of entitlement. Owen Turner works as a boilerman for the Santa Fe's train stops in San Marcial. Don't know. He is immediately attracted to Susanna upon meeting her, but he hesitates to risk opening his heart again, especially as painful memories are stirred up by his own late sibling when Susanna's brother is assigned to work under him. Count the Night Stars by Michelle Shocklee releases on the 8th of March. Count your nights by stars, not shadows. Count your life with smiles, not tears. 1961, after a long time resident at Nashville's historic Maxwell House Hotel suffers a debilitating stroke, Audrey Whitfield is tasked with cleaning out the reclusive woman's room. There she discovers an elaborate scrapbook filled with memorabilia from the Tennessee Centennial Exposition. Love notes on the backs of unmailed postcards inside capture Audrey's imagination with hints of a forbidden romance and troubling revelations about the disappearance of young women at the exposition. Audrey enlists the help of a handsome hotel guest as she tracks down clues and information about the mysterious Peaches and her regrets over one fateful day nearly 65 years earlier. And then it looks like it's a dual time period story. It's also set in 1897. In Mystery and Suspense, Malicious Intent by Lynn H. Blackburn is book 2 in the Defend and Protect series, and it releases on the 1st of March. Dr. Ivy Collins, founder and CEO of Heiress Inc., is ready to begin clinical trials of her company's cutting-edge prosthetic. Her work has been heralded by government, medical and advocacy groups, and everyone hopes the device will be a success. Well, almost everyone. Someone is trying to sabotage Heiress and the launch, but to what purpose and how far will they go to get what they want? In romance novels, Looking for Leroy by Melody Carlson is releasing on the 1st of March. It's official, Brynna Phillips is done with men. They only break your heart, but just when she makes this declaration, her friend Jan convinces Brynna to join her on a camping vacation in Sonoma wine country. I don't think I pronounced that right, but as they wind their way towards their destination, spanking new mini camper in tow, Brynna recalls her teenage camp romance with a boy called Leroy. How can it have been nearly 30 years ago? All she remembers is that Leroy was a genuinely good guy and that his family owned a vineyard in Sonoma. She doesn't even remember his last name. Jan insists they look for him and the search begins. Do you pronounce that Leroy or Leroy? Leroy. It's not a name that I kind of am familiar with. The Do-Over by Bethany Turner releases on the 15th of March. When McKenna Keaton walks into the boardroom of Wallace, Monroe and Birkhead, she expects to be named senior partner. Instead, she learns she's being investigated for embezzlement. To wait out her unpaid leave, McKenna sublets her Upper West Side apartment and goes home to Durham, North Carolina, to save money. Saving face is going to be another thing entirely, but she assumes her problems will blow over soon. While living in her childhood hometown, McKenna learns about a family curse that, if real rather than imagined, could suggest she has less than a year to live. This information is troubling, of course, but it's the reunion with former classmate Henry, Durham's favourite son, that flips her world upside down. Henry is now a celebrated documentarian back in town to premiere his latest masterpiece. In contemporary books, Something Good by Vanessa Miller releases on the 8th of March. When three women find their lives inextricably linked after a terrible mistake, they must work together to make the most of their futures. Alexis Marshall never meant to cause the accident that left John Robinson paralysed, but though guilt plagues her, her husband hopes to put the past behind them. After all, he's in the middle of selling a tech business, and if Alexis admits to texting while driving, the deal could collapse and cost them millions. Trish Robinson is just trying to hold it together after the accident that left John dependent and depressed. As the bills pile up, Trish and her husband, Dwayne, find themselves at odds. Trish wants to forgive and move on, but Dwayne is filled with rage towards the entitled woman who altered their lives forever. And finally, in fantasy and sci-fi, this is a sci-fi book, I think, Maxine Justice, Galactic Attorney by Daniel Schwabauer. Schwabauer releases on the 8th of March. Can justice save the earth from extinction? Maxine Justice is an ambulance-chasing lawyer desperate for relevance and cash when aliens hire her to represent them before the United Nations. An off-planet consortium wants to heal humanity of every natural disease in exchange for 30% of Earth's gold reserves. The deal launches Max to legal stardom and makes her an international target for assassins. Medicor, Starcross, Far Future, the big medical companies all have good reasons to want Max out of the way. Worse, she discovers her alien clients may be planning something more sinister than anyone has imagined. So those are the books that I could find. Let me know down in the comments which one or which books you would be most likely to read. And until next time, I hope you have a really good reading week, and I'll see you again soon. God bless. Bye.